Zero is very weird. In a lot of ways, it's a concept rather than a number, because zero doesn't actually mark a quantity, it denotes the absence of a quantity. So, like infinity, zero is much of a concept as it is a number. But if you think about zero, is it really possible to get something from nothing? So let's talk about this a little bit. Zero is a very important number or not number, and it's not always a number depending on how you look at it. As a matter of fact, only recently, over the past 1,500 years or so, have we actually defined zero. And it's actually a very fascinating story because different cultures have used zero in different ways, starting about 1,500 years ago. Today we enjoy zero in all of its glory, where it takes on two roles for us. First of all, it's a placeholder within our positional numbering system. Zero denotes the absence of a value and allows us to create really big numbers without the need of creating new digits. So we know 30 is larger than 3, and then we also know 300 is larger than 30, and 30 is larger than 3. The second use of zero is as a number in its own right. It's the middleman between the positive and the negative numbers, and enjoys all the same benefits as the other numbers. We can subtract, add, and multiply by zero, but dividing by zero just really doesn't work. For example, you can't divide one chicken by no chickens, and you might suggest that the answer is infinity, but it's not, because infinity really isn't a number, it's really a concept, much like zero. Math developed from a very practical desire to count things, such as the passage of days or the quantities of chickens that you owned. To manage this, ancient civilizations developed rudimentary numbering systems, like the Babylonians used two symbols in different arrangements to create unique numbers from 1 to 60. The ancient Greeks and the Mayans also developed their own numbering systems, and all these civilizations are thought to have created their own rough concepts of zero as a placeholder. But it wasn't until the Indians began developing their own numbering system that zero would be defined explicitly. The early numbering system would evolve the use of 1 as we know today, initially with 9 number symbols and then a small dot used to mark the absence of a number. The 7th century mathematician developed terms of zero in addition, subtraction, and division, although he struggled a little bit with the latter. It would take academics hundreds of years to come up with the concept of zero. And as math in India matured, it found its way eastward to China and westward, influencing Islamic and Arabic cultures, where it was instrumental in trade. But zero found resistance in Europe, as the Hindu-Arabic system was opposed to zero, and the Roman Empire established a numerical system. However, by the 13th century, academics such as the Italian mathematician Fibonacci were championing the new numbering system in their work, helping zero gain a solid foothold across Europe. Over the next 400 years, as mathematics evolved from practical applications to ever more abstract functions, zero would form the cornerstone of calculus. Calculus allowed anyone to break down dynamic systems into smaller and smaller units approaching zero, but cunningly avoided the trap of having to divide by zero. Zero had now become a celebrated tool in the mathematical arsenal. And as the binary numerical system formed the foundation for modern computer languages, zero once again stepped into the limelight to prove its worth. And so it seems after all this time, it was finally possible to get something from nothing.